needs to be addressed, even as the government regulates policies that are more inclusive for people living with special needs in the society. Kenyatta University is among the top prestigious universities in Kenya that is trying to beat all odds amidst challenges to offer students with special needs a friendly learning environment. Jami Kiboi details.
They say disability is not inability, breaking down the stigma and helping children with special needs into school to find their confidence as well as changing attitudes and policies are key to encourage independence, ease of access and care for people living with disability. With an estimated 200 million persons across the world living with disability fact sheet according to the United Nations, Kenya has recorded a 6.5 million people with disability, 50.4% being females, while 49.6% being men. ODM-nominated Member of Parliament Denita Gati represents persons with disability, a cheerful soul who has lived both a normal and disabled life. She was involved in a tragic accident back in 2013 that left her disabled. Now she is championing for rights of people with special needs. Sentiments that Jubilee-nominated Member of Parliament Joseph Sankok, who represents people with disabilities, seconded, but he praised the government for tackling a number of challenges.
Companies tend to look at people with disabilities as people who are unproductive, as people who are lazy, as people who will come to the company and expect a lot of favor. That is actually far from the truth.
And that is why we are put at the same level as heroes who have maybe fought for independence, heroes who have won these country medals, heroes like Wangari Maathai, and others that have done a lot. But the president himself, as an advocate of disability rights, came out clearly and say, these people are heroes, persons with disability, because they have challenges they have to overcome.
But even as the society is learning to embrace people with special needs and create an accommodative environment, how do students with special needs in higher learning institutions cope in an atmosphere with people of different orientations and taboos?
Whether you have a visual impairment, whether you have a hearing impairment, whether it's a physical disability or other, the social environment in which you live almost always places obstacles that make it very difficult for you to integrate. I'm thinking here about the deaf students who tend to form a community of themselves. It becomes very difficult to approach this group and penetrate them because they stick very tightly together.
Kenyatta University is among the most prestigious universities in Kenya that offer its students and staff conducive environment to work and learn, from well-equipped classes and libraries to well-built infrastructures to accommodate students with special needs. Byron Okello Dola is the congressperson with special needs at Kenyatta University. He says as a leader, he is careful in making some decisions to avoid being biased, which may create enmity amongst them.
I had some visual problems that was recurrent, actually. It's something in the lineage, but mine became recurrent. Then I said, like, okay, now, these are now a problem, because since class 6, that is 2009, I would always be on and off school, oftenly. So I said, okay, now, this is now a problem. I'll have it. And at some point, out of the doctors' research, the opticians, they told me, like, my situation wouldn't be treated because I'd have to live with it. But then at a given age, around class 8, it became worse, and I'd have some headaches reading. So I opted, okay, now, this is now a problem that I have to accept it. Then I said, now, let me now look for an option. The university has really concentrated on the students at the main campus with disability, and they're really gaining. The university is doing good work in the main campus, but the university isn't doing good work in the satellite campuses. Yeah, they're really lagging behind. Yeah, I just get calls. I haven't known about a student in Parklands with disability, but then you just find a call. Are you the congress person? I'm in need of this lacking, this and this. So finally, you have to run to that place, listen to them over there. Then you come back and run to Riro, listen to them. It's been very hectic.
Undertaking Bachelor in Special Needs Education, Nelson Buire, a student from Kenyatta University with visual impairment, having studied in a special school back in high school, had a hard time intercepting with normal people in a new environment who are mean when it comes to accommodation.
You see, the challenge of accessing resources in terms of making life comfortable just as the other one would like, persons with disability majorly find it difficult, maybe due to technology. You see, many things here rely on site operations. You need site to travel, you need site to do whatever. But you see, for a person with disability, you have to undergo a lot of training, environmental adaptations, you have to be taught various things for you to be able to be accommodated fully in the society as far as access to resources is concerned.
To date, efforts to eliminate all forms of discrimination against persons with disability by some of the United Nations agencies, governments, and national and international disability organizations are bearing fruit eventually. Perhaps people living with disability would have chosen to see, hear, talk, or even walk, but they have chosen to live. And as the society embraces technology and architecture to accommodate them, the society too must learn to embrace and live with them. Njama Kiboi for KUTV.